Hello, my name is Chad Lehman of the Neil Squire Society, and this is a demonstration of Elluminate and how it will be used for clients and volunteers to connect as part of our Distance Computer Comfort Program. So this tool will allow real-time communication between clients and volunteers regardless of location and allow them to share audio so they can hear each other and also share the desktop so they can see what the person is working on. The Elluminate interface has a lot of controls, but we'll really only be using a couple parts of it for this program. In the bottom corner, we have our audio tools. And this part's important. So upon signing in, participants or volunteers will turn their microphone on. So using a computer headset, they can turn the microphone on, and then it'll work almost like a phone, where what they say can be heard on the other end by the person, and they can talk back through their headset. This is very similar to other VoIP applications such as Skype, where people can use the computer and VoIP connection to communicate with each other like a phone. The other part that's important is up here we have our participant list. Now this shows who is in the session. So right now I have a sample participant in and volunteer chat. That's me. But staff can also be added to this list. So if we needed for some reason more than 2 people to be in a session, that could take place. Though typically, I think it'll be primarily just a participant and a volunteer in the session. So upon turning their microphone on and being able to hear and talk to each other, you'll want to see what the participant is working on to help with the tutoring. So by right-clicking on them, I can request desktop control. Now, the client gets a pop-up on their window, basically confirming their permission that someone can take over their computer. So they have to say, yes, I give permission for someone to take control of my desktop. Upon doing that, you can now see that person's window on the other side. So you can see anything that's on their desktop, right from the start menu, the task manager, and the system clock. You can even see their mouse or keyboard movement. So this is the client moving the mouse on their side. And it's warning them their desktop's now being shared. Now a volunteer, let me switch back to my volunteer control here. Volunteer can stretch this window to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. So the scaling. There we go. Okay. Now, a volunteer and a client, they might get a little confused because right now the volunteer has his Elluminate window open, plus he's seen the client's Elluminate window open. So what I'd recommend doing is on the client's computer, going under the View menu and switching to the mini controller. That basically gets all the tools of Elluminate out of the way. So you're just seeing that client's computer and desktop and what they're working on. And we can minimize this. And now it's just like, maybe I'll pull this out of the way too. There we go. So now it's just like we're sitting in front of a computer together working. We hear each other through the headsets, and both the volunteer and client can move and use the mouse to engage in tutoring activities, be that working on application software, surfing the internet, or working on other communication technologies. That concludes the demonstration on how to use Elluminate to connect to tutoring sessions. If you have any questions about this, please contact Chad Lehman or Ryan Thomas. Our phone number is 1-877-673-4636. Thank you very much.